What's going on, my fellow Americans and freedom loving friends? I know it's been a while. I know. I've recorded a bunch of videos. I have. I just haven't posted any of them. And I think the main reason was because I didn't want to get put into I didn't want to get pigeonholed into this category of crazy right winger, because I can see how people would see that from me. Like, look at this. I got the Gadsden flag. Good flag, flown by our Navy in the Revolutionary War. American flag back there. I wear America shit all day long, every day. And I've been kind of holding off for that reason. Also, it was Christmas and New Year's. We had a good time. Family, friends. It was great. I had people from all sides of the political aisle. We had lots of long conversations. It was fantastic. I loved it. And then we come to January, and man, the national rhetoric around this stuff is just getting out of hand. The humanity is just being completely lost and left behind. So it's really weird because in my personal life, I don't really feel this stuff. I don't feel the mandates from Inslee, that's the governor of Washington State. I don't feel the mandates from him really. And Joe Biden, I just see him on the TV and he's, blaming unvaccinated people for everything wrong with this country. I don't feel that in my own personal life. I don't have social media, so that kind of helps. But I can kind of feel the pressure surrounding me and my family. And I feel obligated to at least oppose this stuff. Vocally, we have this great technology, YouTube, right? I can come out and I can oppose this, and hopefully other people will say, hey, you know what? That actually is kind of reasonable. And I'm going to oppose this as well. It surprises me that as a country, we've kind of just fit into this caricature of like lazy American, ignorant, no attention span or anything like that. Seems like the corporate media kind of wants to keep us that way. And I don't think that's how most Americans are. I mean, personally, I believe that we have certain God-given rights that government recognizes. And it seems that government is kind of overstepping their bounds right now. And they're doing it through fear, right? So what Kamala Harris came out and said just today, January 6th, right? She came out and she said January 6th Capitol riot. She compares the January 6th Capitol riot to September 11th and Pearl Harbor. Those three things are not the same. Not at all. Okay, you don't get to just say that.
December 7th, 1941. September 11th, 2001. And January 6th, 2021.
Okay. I mean, they're trying to push this fear tactic that, okay, I'm not going to defend the people who went to the Capitol on January 6th, but I will say that I believe that most of them were rubes, and with mob mentality and some people there to kind of push things along in a certain direction, a lot of people made really dumb decisions, but it wasn't the worst attack in our country since September 11th or Pearl Harbor. I'm so tired of this. I don't know how people can take her seriously. I don't know how people. I really don't understand. Why are they taking them seriously? She just needs to be like, okay, just ignore her. That's ridiculous. That's dumb. But the fact that people like Fauci are in charge, I don't trust this guy. I'm not complying with any of this, and a big reason is because of this guy right here, Fauci. Dr. Fauci urges Americans to avoid hugging and kissing on New Year's Eve. That That's one of the most important things that you can possibly do in your life is cherish the relationships that you have with your family and friends. Somewhere along the line, I feel like a lot of people have lost that idea. I had a bout with cancer when I was young, 14. And when I got that, I realized that the most important thing in my life was my family and my friends. And I knew back then that I wanted to be a father. I wanted to be a husband. I wanted a wife. I wanted kids. I wanted them to have kids. I wanted to be a grandpa. And now we have people saying that, no hugging and kissing on New Year's Eve. Yeah, I get it. Technically, we're still in a pandemic. People get sick, but the vaccine has been out for a while. So if you're really that scared of it, you can do that. Oh, yeah. Someone like Fauci, there's no reason for me to trust this guy. Yeah, I'm a nobody, right? I change tires for a living. I may be a nobody to you, but right now I am a husband and I'm a father. I'm a son and a brother. So I'm a somebody to some people, but I can recognize that this guy is what he goes back and forth on everything that he said over the past 2 years. I've heard every possible and potential position that somebody can hold out of this guy's mouth. Why should I trust him? And why do people trust him? This guy is, as far as I'm concerned, he is an evil human being. He's done some horrible, horrible, terrible things. Fauci funded the island of monkeys in South Carolina used for horrific maximum pain experiments. I don't want to go too much into that because it is brutal. He funded maximum pain experiments. He funded experiments on bugles and sandflies that are so horrific that I can't even fathom why this guy is even in any kind of public eye. He should be an outcast, period. He's evil. Back in the 90s or 80s and 90s, the NIH tested AIDS drugs on foster children. Okay, this is NPR. This is from an article back in 2005. Okay, it's the head of NIH. That was Fauci. Okay, ugh, this is gross. They tested AIDS drugs on children, foster children. They don't care about you. Don't trust these people. I don't trust a word out of their mouth. And the hubris that these people have, Fauci coming out saying, I am science. If you criticize me, you're criticizing science. Joe Biden, same thing. We're not allowed to criticize him. Our governor, Jay Inslee, okay, this guy ran for president in 2020, failed miserably. But this guy, he comes out. This is what he says about COVID. And like what is the responsibility of COVID?
There's only one
or of your
person
position
in the
with
state of
COVID?
Washington who has the capability to save those lives right now, and it happens to be the governor of the state of Washington.
That's it, right there. There's only one person who can save those lives in Washington State, and that just happens to be the governor of Washington. That hubris is disgusting. Like, no, you're not the only person. In fact, it would be good if you would inspire people to be healthier, to maybe get outside more and eat better, stop drinking and smoking so much. Maybe try to get as healthy as you can be and not completely rely on the government to save you. You know what would have been really cool last year? I guess it's 2 years ago now. Back in 2020, when they were giving out those stimulus checks, right? That was a big talk. And the amount of time it took to get the stimulus checks out, I wish they would have just stopped taxing us for a month. That would have made a way bigger difference, at least in my paycheck. I don't know about you guys, but just stop taxing us for a month and just leave us alone. That's pretty much what I want. I feel obligated to come out and speak out against this because I feel like they're just circling around, and it's like I'm separated from this for now. But if I don't say something, then other people will believe that most Americans actually believe these people, or take them seriously. Think they can. We have God-given rights recognized by government. We live in a republic. Okay, we elect representatives to represent us. They don't get to look down on us and say, if you don't get this vaccine, then you lose your job, you lose your way of income, you're not allowed to move around. I mean, just look at what's happening in Australia right now, right? They gave their guns up 2 years ago. This is where this goes. It's rapidly accelerating towards this right now in the United States, right? Northern Territory of Australia puts unvaccinated on near total lockdown. But what they don't mention at this particular, or in this particular article, is that the vaccinated also have severe restrictions, and they can still get thrown in their internment camp or their concentration camps that they got built over there. These people have lost their mind. And to all my fellow Americans, all you city folk, you know, us country people are not the enemy. Trust me when I say that. Don't make us the enemy. That, you know, there's a lot of people out here that are well prepared, and it is really fascinating to see that all these younger people believe that they can just impose these things on everyone, and everybody must get this now, and it's surprising that a lot of people go along with it. I thought there were more adults in this country. You know, I'm actually constantly surprised by that. You know, when I got into the workforce when I was 18, I was raised by responsible adults. Okay, so that was my perception of adults. Right? They paid their bills on time. They generally didn't lie, and they didn't talk shit behind other people's backs. I got into the workforce and I realized, like, oh, this is like middle school drama. And it hasn't changed much since then. But as I've gotten older, I've realized that goes all the way up to the highest level of governments. The people who are supposed to be representing us. I mean, it is tough to. I don't know if you guys ever have seen a congressional hearing or interviews with these people, but it is so brutal. It is painful to watch because they will lie through their teeth, and man, what they say about each other, like the Democrats right now have a belief that the Republicans just want to kill everybody. I don't know why. Like they'll go out and, you know, all right. I don't want to get too off topic here, but basically the point of this video is to just give you at least a reason why I'm not going to comply. And why there's no reason to trust these people or to listen to them. I'm going to stick with the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. You know, we have God-given rights that they're supposed to recognize, and they ain't taking them from me. So, and I know that there's a lot more Americans out there that feel that way, but maybe they don't understand how many of us actually believe that and are willing to not go along with this. The corporate media has a lot of power in that they're able to, well, you know, they're able to get a big lie out there, and it travels. And it's hard to fight that. I can see that. But a movement built on lies will only go so far. You know, the Soviet Union, they only lasted 70, 80 years. Well, in America, we're 250 some odd years or so. There's a reason that America has lasted this long and has been a superpower for this long. I can kind of see it crumbling. It kind of feels like it kind of feels like the foundation is being eroded, and then we're kind of just sinking and then about to collapse. But I would like to believe that we're not going. And I would like to believe that my fellow Americans don't want that as well. And just understand who is the enemy, and it's not us. I'll tell you that much. Really, really interesting to watch all this move along. I mean, who knows how long the golden age that we've all experienced is going to last, because I mean, we don't know war at home. We don't yeah, there's not really a lot of hardships that you can face in this country unless you, generally speaking, make bad decisions. But I'm a free thinking patriot, not a Republican, not a Democrat. I don't give a shit. If somebody says something good in government that's supposed to be representing me, I'm gonna praise them for it. If somebody says something bad, I'm gonna say that they're stupid, and hopefully we could vote him out, like Inslee, believing that he's the only person who can save Washington. He talked about himself in the third person in an interview. That's kind of sad, but I love you guys. I love this country. I'm a well-armed hippie, so I'm just back here. I'm gonna promote peace and love, and I'm gonna keep my guns in case anything ever goes wrong. I never want to use them, but they are fun to play with, and it is nice to have as a backup. So, but I love you guys. God bless you. God bless America. And I do plan on putting more videos out. Like I said, I recorded a bunch of videos, but I'm just gonna refine them, put a couple more out. I just needed to get something out. The best way I learned how to do something is to just start doing it. So, I love you guys. Peace.